You might be able to, but pretty cool. Sarah Jessica Parker, a very young Sarah Jessica Parker, was on.
I think you can let people in now, Holly.
Yeah. Can you hear Emmanuel in the background?
No, I cannot.
Good. Hi, Enriva.
Hello, how are you?
Shabbat Shalom. You're muted, both of y'all. All of y'all. There you go.
Say hello to the Milchers. Where did they go?
Here we
They're
are.
there.
Hello.
We're here.
And they hid.
How are you doing?
So, hey, you gotta turn your screen down. Otherwise, I only get this part of you. Aha, there you are. Hello.
How are you?
Now you lost your head. Hi, Peter. You look good. Looking good. I've been trying to get onto this, and I always seem to get on late or have a conflict. So
Well, now you're on time, so that's good.
yeah, yeah. So
Are you at home? Or are you still at the?
I'm at University Place.
Okay, you're getting your treatment.
Well, I have to go down to Methodist every week, but coming back here is better. Like the doorbell rang about a half hour ago, and there was my dinner.
Good.
And then the physical therapist came on Thursday, you know, things like that. And I should be saving money at home, but it doesn't have the people possibility. And to hire somebody to just sit there and look at me when we have nothing in common, you know.
Well,
So
Just-
we'll take it from here until we get to a place that a decision has to be made.
okay, that's good.
That will
I'm
have to be.
happy to see you.
Good. Same here. Did you ever see this? Look, I never in my whole life, from babyhood, this is since, what was it, February last year, my hair got long. But my gray is not bad, so I might keep it.
Good.
So anyway,
Hey, Chuck and Karen. Hi, Margie. Hi, Debbie and David.
Hi, Rabbi.
Hi,
Rabbi.
everybody.
Rabbi Scott,
let me
do you
open
know
it.
about
Hi, Sheila. What?
do you know about that organization that pairs you with somebody in Israel? A student?
I hadn't heard of it before. No, but I think it's super neat.
I'm going to try it.
I think it's something that we should promote to people at Shmakolenu.
What is this? A new group?
It's an organization that pairs English speakers around the world via Zoom, I think, with Israeli students who are just trying to improve their English.
Oh,
And so it's, you know, if you speak English, you're golden. You could do it. But it seems like a really neat thing, especially right now.
That's fabulous. Love that idea.
Yeah. So we're going to get the information and get it out to people through Shmakolenu because it seems like such an appealing and easy mitzvah.
yeah.
I don't. Oh, I look.
Margie, how's the puppy? The new puppy?
Puppy's good. New puppy's good. We're gonna start some obedience training on Tuesday.
Well, why don't you
Give me
hold
the
him up
dog.
so you can see? Let me see. What do you got? Where is he? Oh,
She's sleeping. She's a Doberman. Whoops.
So Margie, that's for Kevin, but what are you going to do for the dog?
Exactly.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum. She's a Doberman with natural ears and a natural tail, and just is super sweet. But yeah, she needs some obedience training.
Have you shown her the Doberman Gang yet?
Good.
Do you know that movie? You don't know that movie?
Oh,
It's like a 1970s cult classic. It's called the Doberman Gang, and it's these Dobermans that rob banks.
no.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God. I'll have to
Got it.
watch it.
It's like a low budget 1970s. They carry they have these like pouch bags on them. Oh my God, it's
That's hilarious. I'll have to.
terrible. I mean, it's terrible.
It couldn't be worse than PK and the Kid, which is if you know that movie, it's an old Molly. It's like one of Molly Ringwald's very first movies.
Oh my gosh.
It's very, very old, but Kevin was in that movie.
Oh no way.
If you look at my Facebook post, there was a Facebook post, I think from yesterday, of a screenshot from him when he was in that movie, and he's got a full head of hair.
Debbie, you're muted.
Hi, Sandy.
Margie, how old was he when he was in that movie?
He was in high school. He was a senior in high school.
I totally want to see that.
It's a
Well, that should be a CSK event, I think.
I wouldn't put people through that punishment.
Hey,
Believe-
Richard, Jerry. Hey, Cappy. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Cappy's frozen. By the way, I survived my very first COVID shot.
Ah, good for you.
Nice. I am still very low on the list, or very high on the list.
Okay, I'm mute.
Margie, I think your dog has a future in movies. She's just so regal and elegant looking. You ought to check that out.
Everybody. Hey, y'all.
Cappy's frozen. By the way, I survived my very first COVID shot.
Ah, good for you.
Nice. I am still very low on the list.
Why are we hearing it again?
Very high on the
Is anybody hearing that again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very strange.
That was very bizarre.
That's weird.
It was deja vu all over again. Yeah.
list.
Somebody recently reminded me of George Carlin's bit about Vujade.
Yes, that was
Remember
funny.
that about Vujade? George Carlin, the comedian, he talks about Vujade, which is anybody hearing that plays at the same time, very strange over again? Very bizarre.
Okay. Someone has a deja vu all over again. Yeah.
Somebody needs to. George Carlin's bit about
It's Linda's. It's Linda's computer. You're on a delay, Linda. Something's happening there. Yeah.
Okay, that fixed it, I think.
Yeah.
We don't mean to shut you up, Linda. I'm sorry.
Linda, do you have it on YouTube?
She's muted.
You're muted right now,
I
Linda.
know.
But if she were on YouTube, we wouldn't hear her, would we?
No,
And this
I
is
know.
If
both.
she was watching it on YouTube, we would.
Oh, yeah.
Is it good now?
Did you have
Yes.
and on your computer?
It's only on my computer.
It's
It's because of the snow up there.
I think that's it. Is it better though?
It is.
Yeah, much
Good.
better.
How did you know it was Linda?
Because you can see who's getting the sound by they're surrounded in a yellow
Oh, yeah.
box.
Oh,
Hey, we do this all the time. We have to shut people down because there's noise coming. So you have to know who to shut down.
You,
Hey,
you,
Shoshi.
you have to know who to shut down.
Linda, are you snowed in?
Rule in life.
In a manner of speaking, I've been shoveling for the past couple of days, so I have access to the street.
So are you
So
in
Linda, for what it's worth, the rest of us are shoveling all the time too. It's just not snow.
I have to do both though. Y'all were talking about movies. I was in The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
the what?
what?
The fish, let's see, the fish that saved Pittsburgh.
That's a real movie?
Well, it was for ever so briefly in time when I was living in Pittsburgh. I don't even think you can stream it, so you're good.
Oh, look at you getting the extra point.
I was sad to read today of the passing of,
Charlie Plummer.
yes, Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant, actually.
Oh, Christopher Plummer.
It's like,
Yes,
bring
that was
your
very
dog to
sad.
Shabbat, huh?
That's right. He's getting too big to do this.
Margie, did you get the foster?
Yes, we adopted the foster. So did Margie.
Yeah. Yeah, Riley is ours.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Raise your hand if you are a foster fail.
Actually,
Susan Peak was on, she'd be raising her hand.
Andrea was the foster, but we
Yeah, she's the foster. Yeah, she was the foster.
adopted.
I've got my little one.
I want to foster more if we can, once we get Riley, trained and everything.
How old is Riley?
Oh, for you. But
2 years.
Well, just TikTok.
Precious.
Sure.
Yeah. I love her. This is the first time I've had a Doberman with a undocked tail.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Margie, Susan Peak
Yes.
is very, very involved in dog rescues and fostering. She'd be good to talk with.
By the way, y'all, our Shoshi here is an IDF former elite commander and medal winner.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, Linda. I'll bring you to every event of mine to present me. I cannot top that.
That is real.
I will do that.
Oh, it's like a mirror. Oh gosh.
You look fabulous.
Shoshi,
I look like my best for my quarantine. So what you see is what you get.
Shoshi, is that your guitar in the background there?
Yes, sir.
And do you play it?
Sometimes, yes.
Just wondering. I just tucked this information in.
Yeah,
And
I brought.
he never forgets.
That means you'll be called to play upon it in services sometime.
All right, soon.
That would be fun.
On here.
Hello, Sandy.
Oh, hi, good to see the Milches there.
Hi,
How's it
Sandy.
going?
Good to
You
see
doing
you.
okay?
Hi, Sheila. Hi, Peter.
Hi.
Hello, Sandy.
Hi, sweetheart, how you
Keep
doing?
talking, Karen.
Hello, Cynthia.
Where's Cynthia? Hi, Cynthia.
Welcome.
I'm here. I just got on here.
Cynthia.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, Linda has her dog.
Well, this
That's
is
a
my
cat.
dog, but my dog's right there.
Oh, your cat. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to make it every day.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
How's your family in Belize?
Oh, they're all right. They're all right. Yeah.
I didn't know what COVID was like on the island.
The mainland?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
island.
it's raging there too. They even had curfew in my town.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Want to tell?
Sure. So the clinic that I work for, we're getting 500 doses of the vaccine, I think next week. And we're opening it up to anyone over 75. So if you know of anyone in the city of Houston, Harris County, that's over 75 that has not had their shots, they can call.
Do you want to?
They can call beginning tomorrow, and I'll get the phone number, check and make the phone number and let you all know.
You can put it in the chat.
I'll put it in the chat and you can but tell everyone, but they have to call and make an appointment.
Great, thank you. I have an elderly neighbor. I've been trying to get her a shot. But
Perfect.
she doesn't want to sign up for it because she doesn't want to be sent way far away.
Well, this may be way far away. It'll be up in the Spring Branch, Northwest Houston area.
Oh, okay, that's close to us.
Okay.
I'll take her. I'll personally take her there, but fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for that. Thank you, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We are glad to welcome everybody here. Shabbat Shalom. Jonathan, you want to begin?
I would love to.
Awesome.
Didn't realize this was all twisted. There we go. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov, oh hine ma tov, ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, salam alaikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. One last time. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So glad to see you all with us here this evening. I want to make sure that you saw that Holly put in our chat the PDF of the prayer book, as well as the PDF of the supplement. So we have a couple of pieces that aren't in the prayer book tonight that we will be singing as part of our service that are also that you'll be able to find in the supplement. And now we have begun Shabbat. Today was kind of a cold day. I don't know if you know if it was cold for you. It was kind of cold for me. It felt like winter, which, you know, Houston doesn't often feel like winter, even when it's cold outside. But for some reason today, kind of felt like winter. So I sort of imagined that feeling that I felt in other places I've lived, where we have these changes of the seasons, where there's this really significant change in the foliage and in the temperature and in the kind of clothes you wear. I pray that this is a time of transition for us, for the world, that we are able to move in the way that Tu B'Shvat recognizes the movement. Last week was Tu B'Shvat, the New Year for the trees. And there's this ritual that some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with. We do a Tu B'Shvat Seder. It's akin to a Passover Seder. Much shorter, though. But we do 4 cups of wine or grape juice. And we begin with just white wine or white grape juice. And then the second cup is white with a dash of red. And the third cup is red with a dash of white. And then the fourth cup is red, indicating that sense of transition from the cold to warm, from frozen to thawed out. And it's just this powerful symbol of how we move from stillness, from perhaps being frozen in place, scared to move, to then moving forward with more intensity and more sense of direction and hope. So my prayer for us this evening is that we take time tonight and think about how we have moved, even if incrementally, from where we were last year, to where we are today. As we sing together, Ozi v'zimrat Yah, the words can be found in the supplement.
Ozi v'zimrat Yah v'yehi Yeshua. 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 Ozi v'zimrat Yah v'yehi Yeshua.
May the light of these candles inspire us towards truth. Truth, a commodity that seems to be so challenged in our day. May we always be willing to shine light into the darkness, to fight back those who would work to shadow out the light. May we always light lights. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We continue with Lachadodi.
Yalla laila laila Lachadodi. Yalla laila laila kakala. Yalla laila laila B'nai Shabbat. B'nai Shabbat. Nekabela. Yalla laila laila Lachadodi. Yalla laila laila kakala. Yalla laila laila B'nai Shabbat. B'nai Shabbat. Nekabela. Shamor b'zachor b'diborecha Yishmi'anu el hamyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'lechilai Elai, lai, lai, yalla, lai, 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 Lachadodi Yalla, lai, 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 likakala Yalla, lai, 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 B'nai Shabbat B'nai Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh v'machshava techilai Lai, 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 yalla, lai, 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 Lachadodi Yalla, lai, 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 likakala Yalla, lai, 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 B'nai Shabbat B'nai Shabbat Nekabela Boi v'shalom Hateret bala Tam b'simcha U'b'tzola Toch emuneh Am segula Boi kala Lai, lai, lai Yalla, lai, 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 Lachadodi Yalla, lai, 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 likakala Yalla, lai, 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 B'nai Shabbat B'nai Shabbat Nekabela Yalla, lai, 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 Lachadodi Yalla, lai, 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 likakala Yalla, lai, 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 B'nai Shabbat B'nai Shabbat Nekabela.
We we continue with Baruch Hu.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lai, yalla lai lai 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 lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Oh, Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Oftentimes we talk about the Shema as a prayer that reminds us about how we have to hear others. We have to listen more, talk less, that we have to try to listen deeply, really try to listen without our answer running. But there's also a hearing that the Shema calls us to, which is more internal, listening to ourselves, trying to hear the messages our body is giving us. If we have certain kinds of pains or aches, if there's something that's just bothering us, if our head is pounding, our stomach is growling, it might be something that calls for Advil or Pepto, but it also might be something that is gnawing at you. We all manifest our discomfort in different ways in our bodies. So one of the things that I encourage us to do when we sing Shema is do a body scan and ask yourself, how well am I listening to my body? What's barking at me that I just have turned the volume down on altogether? And what do I pay attention to that might not be as much of a problem as I imagine? Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Almost there.
We continue with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shochvecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
So because of the unwieldiness of trying to do the simchas on Zoom, I'm going to ask that you please do share your simchas in the chat if you would like to share a simcha, except for if you have like a big birthday that's happening soon, sometime soon, or just within the week. Anybody got actually not just a big birthday, a birthday? Anybody this week, a birthday that we can recognize? Oh, Steinfelds look like they might have something. You're muted. All right. Anybody? Birthday? No? Anybody see anybody that I'm not seeing? All right. So no birthdays now. We got simchas. You can see on the chat. Yeah? Well, then let's go right to Micha Mocha, and you can greet each other with lovely notes and greetings in the chat.
And my simcha would be I'm celebrating Shabbat with one of my favorite congregations. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh Adonai. Tahara uvanecha, okay, ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai, yiloch le'olam ba'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh Adonai, yiloch le'olam ba'ed. Adonai, yiloch le'olam ba'ed.
We now transition into the Amidah, and Jonathan's going to share with us a very beautiful version of Adonai Sifatai, the words for which, again, are in the supplement. I encourage you to follow along and listen to them and allow them to be part of your prayer tonight.
You are blessed and you are holy. You are blessed and you are praised. You are blessed and you are faithful to the ones who praise your name. You are kind and you are healing. You are cleansing of my soul. You are loved and pure and gracious. You are real and make me whole. Adonai sfatai tifta ufi yagite hilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, to show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. You are wise and you are sparing. You are merciful and clear. You are utter perfection, no more wrong directions. I am loved and I am here. Adonai sfatai tifta upi yagite hilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, to show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Adonai sfatai tifta ufi yagite hilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, to show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imaot, Umevi Gulai Livnei V'Neihem, Leman Shemo B'Achava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rab L'Choshia, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamochal Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Meshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yalu chasala. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
It is so painful to consider the lives that have been lost this year to COVID. And of particular note are those who are left behind, the family members and friends. They come to mind a lot lately in my prayers for healing and wholeness. That they find their way forward productively, with meaning and with hope. Not to the point where they will ever forget, but that they can fold in the loss of their loved one into their lives. I pray for them, particularly tonight. I invite you all to write into the chat the people whom you are thinking of who are in need of healing and wholeness as we pray these prayers of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
I want to say thank you to Jonathan for joining us. He's going to stay with us until he has to jump off because he's big in demand tonight. He actually is doing 2 Shabbat services this evening, the early show and the late show. So he's doing the late show in just a little while, but he had to be able to start right at 7:30. So thank you, Jonathan, for today, for 10 at noon, and again for tonight for Shabbat. Tonight, earlier before services, this is my second Shabbat service. The first one was what we call Zumrot. Zumrot is a play on the Hebrew word Zemirot, which is songs that you sing at the Shabbat table. So we're obviously not together, so we called it Zumrot, and it's for parents and grandparents with young children celebrating Shabbat. It was just a half an hour from 5:30 to 6, and we're going to do this the first Friday of the month going forward. And so I encourage you to bring your young children or young grandchildren, even if they're in another city or another state. They can join you online, obviously, on Zoom. Tomorrow morning, we have our kosher pretzel once again, and you are able to RSVP to be in person or to be online. It's at Rochelle Manigel's new studio, Yoga to Gather, and it's right near the Bel Air Triangle. But the easier way to do it is just online. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. This week we continue with 10 at noon. And next Friday evening, we will not be holding Shabbat services. We will be dark, so to speak, next Friday, February 12th. So then we will return again on Friday, February 19th. Please do note that Purim is coming up. That'll be Thursday night, February 25th. I hope that you've seen our information that we've been posting and sharing. It's Purim Bingo. It'll be an evening that'll be about an hour, maybe hour and 15 minutes, but it'll be like a variety show. But you got to make sure to RSVP at least a week in advance so that you will be able to get a specially made Mishloach Manot Purim basket delivered to you with Hamantaschen, Groggers, a couple small bottles of wine, something else, I think, and most importantly, your pre-printed Purim bingo cards. Now, if you sign up after a week before, you'll still be able to get the cards, but you'll just have to download them, but you won't be able to get the box, and the box is the best thing. So please make sure to sign up online as soon as possible, because the earlier we know, it's easier for us to do the planning. And I'm really grateful to Andy Kupferberg, who's taking charge of the boxes, and to Margie Levin, who's taking charge of the Purim Bingo. We have a live a pre-recorded video of a Purim play that will be playing through. We have a bunch of other things in there that'll be like sort of surprises along the way. But here's the cool thing. The bingo will be, you'll get the clues for the squares of the bingo as long as you're listening, because we won't be calling them out. They'll be in the scripts of what's being presented. So you have to pay attention to the words or the numbers or the clues in order to then catch which squares you have. So we've built in something to make sure that you're paying attention. So that's what's going on for Shema Kolenu. Next Sunday, February 14th, is Yom Limud. Yom Limud is a community learning day. I've always encouraged people to go. Obviously, you're not going anywhere. It's all online. And this year it is entirely, there's no charge to participate in Yom Limud. All the information is on the Federation's website. You just go to the Federation's website or our e-letter, and you'll find a link to their program. Lots of great scholars, lots of great people from around the world who are being brought in via Zoom or whatever platform they're using to create this awesome day of learning. And I was just seeing a note here in the chat. Yes, God canceled Shabbat next week. Yes, Richard. No, here's the thing. You can go anywhere you'd like for Shabbat because it's available so easily now. And I encourage you to do so. This rabbi is taking Shabbat off. And yeah, there's amazing speakers this year at the Yom Limud. Excuse me. So you may know that this week, the Torah portion is Parshat Yitro. Yitro is the Hebrew word for Jethro, and Jethro was Moses' father-in-law. Moses' father-in-law was the priest of Midian, and Zipporah, Jethro's daughter, is one who married Moses, or Moses married her. And this Torah portion is called Yitro because it begins with, and Jethro heard about all that had occurred to the Israelites after they left Egypt. And this is the Torah portion that you may be familiar with, in which Jethro sees Moses trying to manage the hundreds of thousands of Israelites. And Jethro says to Moses, what you're doing isn't right for you or for them. And you need to divide and conquer. You need to have leaders of 100,000 and 10,000 and 5,000 and 1,000, so that you, Moses, don't have to try to manage everybody's issues and disputes, because it's not good for you and it's not good for them. Jethro is recognized as this non-Jewish, obviously not non-Jewish, non-Israelite priest of Midian. And he's recognized as a wise and discerning soul. Later in this Torah portion, and I think it's remarkable that the Torah portion that is called Jethro the name of a non-Israelite priest, is the Torah portion in which God presents the Ten Commandments, the action with the layout of the Ten Commandments, of what's in them. And the Ten Commandments, you've heard me talk about this before. They're called the Aseret HaDibrot, which isn't 10 Commandments. It's not the Aseret HaMitzvot, the 10 Commandments. It's Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 spoken utterances, the 10 words in essence. And it's almost like from the beginning, the Torah is trying to narrow down this wide expanse of this sacred book of the Torah into 10. Now, the Torah doesn't say that. There's no title above where it says where the 10 Commandments are written in the Torah, where it says the 10 Commandments, or even the 10 spoken utterances, but it does mark them as unique and distinct and on their own. And the rabbis, they look at these 10 Commandments and they the rabbis loved numbers. And so they would say, well, you know what? This is about going from 613 commandments to 10. But then they would play more games and they would say, no. It's not just 10. It's really 5, because the 2 tablets were this way with each other. They weren't this way according to the text. They were this way. And so the first commandment and the 6th commandment were connected, and the 2nd and the 7th, and the 3rd and the 8th, and so forth. And so it's really not 10 commandments, it's really 5. I say, no, it's not 5 even. It's really just 2. It's really the first 2, because those, according to tradition, are the ones that were actually heard by the Israelites. The first is, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, and brought you out of the land of Egypt. And the second is, do not make any other gods before me, right? Do not make any graven images. And so they say, no, it's not 5, it's really 2. Those are the 2 most important. And then they say, no, it's not 2. It's really the 1. The first one is all that matters. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And then they continue to go down even more and more. They say, no, it's just the word Anochi, which is the royal I, God speaking I to the Jewish people, to the Israelite people. And then they say, no, it's not even Anochi, it's just Aleph. And what's the sound an Aleph makes? Well, some tradition teaches it's the sound of the throat, just about to articulate a sound. It's the it's the moment right before the act of speaking. This dynamic rabbinic calisthenics is this effort to continue to dig and to dig and to dig into the tradition, into the words. The rabbis understood that the Torah was never meant to be read literally. It was never meant to be understood as a pure history, but rather as a sacred text that was meant to be dug into, not just thousands of years ago, but thousands of years hence, in our time. No one would ever have suggested that it would have been okay for the Torah to have meant something back then, but not something profound in our day right now. If we can't find meaning and purpose in the Torah in our day right now, then the Torah doesn't matter. And so we have the 10 Commandments. And I want to walk you through the 10 Commandments in a way that I think each commandment is trying to discern a truth. Now, there's something different between truth and true. True is more about historical fact, journalistic recording. Truth is something that is long-lasting, something that connects all human beings, all humanity, all creation. It doesn't matter where you live or what language you speak or what color you are or whom you love. These are truths. that stand against the darkness. So what are they? Well, they begin with I am Adonai, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And with these words, I would argue that the words are just saying, God is in you and everyone you've ever known and those whom you don't. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to love equally every human being, but it does mean that every human being, by virtue of their birth, is entitled to humanness, to kindness, to opportunity. Second commandment, idolatry, right? Have no other gods before me. It actually says in the words, do not make of yourself a graven image. Do not be so fixed in your opinions about one thing or another that you can't hear anybody else. It also seems to suggest, and this is the truth that I think is so important for us today, God can never, ever be entirely here or there, in or out, up or down. God is not a vertical or even a horizontal presence. The third commandment, don't take God's name in vain. Now, what does this really mean? Is it really about somebody swearing? Yeah, technically. But what it's really about is that God isn't your alibi. God is also not your bookie. You cannot claim God as proof of your righteousness or blame God for why it is that you acted improperly. The fourth, Shabbat, just a central truth. Take a shluff already. Relax. Take a load off. Nobody can work 24/7 and be at their best. It's just not possible. The fifth commandment, honoring parents. This I have down to 3 words. Creation ain't easy. The words are kaved av va'em. Recognize that there's a weightiness to what it means to be a parent. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to love them or even like them. It doesn't mean that you have to treat them with kid gloves. What it means is recognize that being a parent is a weighty thing. The sixth, murder. Thou shalt not murder. You know, they say that the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. However, the arc of the life of one who is murdered ends midair. There's no redemption there. Adultery. Now you're going to have to wait until I get to the 10th one to understand this one, or maybe you'll get it. Adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery because it kills the grass. Stealing. Thou shalt not steal because it'll never belong to you. Thou shalt not bear false witness because when you do so, you are imprisoning yourself. And lastly, coveting. Thou shalt not covet what is your neighbor's spouse, your neighbor's property, anything that belongs to your neighbor, thou shalt not covet, because the grass ain't greener on the other side of the fence. So back to adultery, that just kills the grass. Studying Torah is about attempting to discern truths in life. There is a lot of falsehoods being promoted in our time today. And many of our leaders are failing to stand up and to speak the truth. It's astounding to me, and you know that I don't generally get political, but it is astounding to me what's going on with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene out of Georgia. It is astounding to me how there isn't a giant bipartisan uproar against these statements that are anti-Semitic and conspiratorial. This isn't a matter of free speech. This is a matter of irresponsible and inappropriate political acts. There are certain points when we must speak out. And I guess the point at which fires in California are being blamed on Jewish space lasers, the time has come. We must be willing to see the world through these lenses of truth, but more the effort to discern truth. To ask, does this ring true? Or is it just paranoid? Is it conspiratorial? And lastly, and most importantly, is it serving the speaker more than it's serving the cause of truth? Throughout history, the Jews have been endangered, as you know. And there are stories of an entity called the Golem. The Golem was a Frankenstein, basically, an inorganic or a figure made from inorganic parts that into which the breath of God was breathed, and a breath of life was breathed, and then Jewish communities that were endangered would use this golem as their protector, as their protection. And in the story of Rabbi Judah Loew of Prague, the Maharal of Prague, the story goes that he brought the golem to life to protect the Jewish community, and he carved into its head the word emet, Aleph, Mem, Tav, emet, which means truth, and that it was truth that gave the golem life. And the golem worked for a long time. It worked to protect the Jewish community, but at some point, the golem couldn't be controlled any longer. And he became a danger to the Jewish people as well as the non-Jews. And so in order to bring the golem's demise, the Maharal of Prague had to go and get to the golem and cross out the Aleph from the word emet. He had to cross out the Aleph of Anochi, Adonai Elohechem, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. He had to cross out the aleph of divine beingness, the thing that makes us tick, that gives us life. And he had to cross out the aleph, because when you have aleph, mem, tav, and you cross out the aleph, then what you're left with is mem, tav, a Hebrew word meaning that says met, which means death. Emet is made from those three letters, aleph at the beginning of the Hebrew alphabet, mem from the middle, and tav at the end. Because the truth is not going to necessarily only be in one place. It's got to span the entire aleph bet. It's got to be a clear and meaningful reflection of what's reality. And if you take one of those elements away, it leads to death. This year, the Ten Commandments stand for us as a reminder for the pursuit of truth, for the demand for truth, for the insistence that our leaders stand for truth, because to not do so is to end in death. The death of partnership, the death of ideas, the death of dreams, the death of hope. So may we all be inspired this year and every year to come to search for truth and to demand truth and hold our leaders accountable for truth. May this be what inspires our society and us going forward. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with Aleinu. I invite you, if you would like, to please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. At this time, if there are people whom you would like to mention in our chat, whom you are remembering this evening as we prepare to say Kaddish, I invite you to please do so. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echonu v'yomechonu v'chai d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalav izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'ulam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha abrichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim alinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace upon us, upon all Israel and all the world, and let us say amen. Hava, hava nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Hava, nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Hava, hava 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 nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kijanu mitzvotav veratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. Everybody unmute yourselves. Eloheinu melech haolam
motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Holly.
Hello. Shabbat shalom.
Good week to everybody.
Good week.
Thank you.
You.
Bye.
Shalom.
See you tomorrow.